Alright, so if you remember what we did last week, we created our own class for Ralph's choice. It was about sloth.
That's correct.
Our sloth had a name, an age, and a speed. We created a custom constructor, we created a toString, and we had a compare to method which allowed it to be compared to other sloths. Which is good. You get the screen there too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what good was that? Well, we were pretending that we were explorers in a jungle. And we had accumulated a list of sloths, which we stored as a sloth list, an array list of sloths. And we had added all of the sloths to our list. And then we saw a new one, and we called that sloth I just saw. And what we were modeling off of is we're like, oh, the one I just saw, I want to go and look into my little book here and see if that's one that I had already seen before. Does it sound familiar? Okay. And if so we used the binary sloth search. So we sent it the list and we sent it the one that we just saw. And if that method returns true, then we say, I've already seen that sloth. Blah. Otherwise, if it returns false, that means we had not seen it before, and we get excited because we're like, woohoo, a new sloth. Just made a new scientific discovery, or something like that, okay? And if we look down here, we're pretty proud of ourselves. We wrote this entire binary sloth search by copy and pasting. All right? Okay, not entirely, but a little bit. We did a little bit of merging of that. So, you know, we had our own array list there, and our key, our sloth key, the one that we're looking for, right? You're always looking for the keys. And then we just sort of modified that binary search, you know, to have the slist.size. And if you remember the way that binary search works, if you've got a list of things, or maybe I should say a list of things, kind of helpful to think of vertically. It looks at the midpoint, and if the midpoint's a match, then you're good. If the midpoint's not a match, then it says, okay, well, the one that you're looking for, is that before the midpoint or after the midpoint? And then depending on that answer, it adjusts the left and the right endpoint to determine whether you're searching the top half or the bottom half. Does that sound familiar? Yes, great. So all that required was that we utilize this compare to method, where we're able to compare one sloth to another. In this case, the one that is at the midpoint to the key. And if they're the same, then the compare to method returns 0, and this method itself returns true. Otherwise, if slist.getMidpoint compared to key is less than 0, that means that the one at the midpoint is before the key. Then we adjust the left endpoint. Otherwise, you adjust the right endpoint. Okay, I'm not going to walk through all that stuff. We did it before. We know it works. We understand how it works. What this required us to do, however, was to actually go over to the sloth class and write that compare to method. Okay, and it was actually it was a little bit longer than that before. It was something like if this dot name dot compared to other dot name equals 0, return 0. Else, if this dot name dot compared to other dot name is less than 0, return -1. Else, return +1. Compared to other dot name, close paren, close paren. How's that look? Less than double equals 2. Wow. Okay. We did have a way, we did reduce all of that at the end in some sort of really fancy move that we did. But do y'all remember doing this? Okay. Because we were really close to being finished on all of this. So what I need you to do, and we can pause the video here, I need you to make sure that you update your code